Okay, hello guys. So today is Monday, April 27th. We are going to be talking about the Peloponnesian War, and this is going to take us 2 days. So this is day one. So the materials that you are going to need is this PowerPoint. You're going to need our YouTube clips, which will be located on slide 10 of this PowerPoint. And then you're going to need the Google Doc titled The Plague of Athens, and that will actually be your assignment, okay? And so that'll be located in Google Classroom. Today's big goals is review the Delian and Peloponnesian League. We're going to learn about the first half of the Peloponnesian War. We're going to watch the plague unfold in Athens. And then we're going to complete the stimulation activity. So our learning target is I can explain how the clash between Athens and Sparta led to their fall. Our success criteria is state the origins and perspectives of the Delian and Peloponnesian leagues. We already kind of did this first one right here, so I'm going to put a little bit of a check mark right here, but we are going to kind of review that and kind of go into a little bit more details of just in terms of review. But we're going to identify how physical features influence the military advantages between Athens and Sparta, and this one we are going to do while we do a review. So we're going to kind of combine these two, and then we recognize how the war impacted the regions of Greece, all right? Okay. So, as always, this is where you're going to find today's lesson. Going onward. So as a review, use the reading to help you if you need. So this reading right here is actually straight from our textbook. So that's reading this paragraph is going to help you answer these three questions. So our first question is, and I'm going to read these three questions and then I'll read the paragraph, okay? So our first question is, what city started the Delian League? The second question will be, why was the Delian League created? And our third question is, what are some of the strengths of the Delian League? All right, so Athenian power. After the Persian Wars ended in 480 BC, many city-states formed an alliance or an agreement to work together. They wanted to punish the Persians for attacking Greece. They also agreed to help defend each other and protect trade in the Aegean Sea. To pay for this defense, each city-state gave money to the alliance. Because the money was kept on the island of Delos, historians called the alliance the Delian League. All right, so go ahead and pause this video and answer those three questions. Next, now we have this reading, and this also again comes from our textbook, and we have two questions that go with it. So these questions are, what city-state started the Peloponnesian League? And what were some of the strengths of the Peloponnesian League? All right, so I'm going to do this reading. We'll start right up here with the width. With its navy protecting the islands, Athens was the strongest member of the league. As a result, the Athenians began to treat other league members as their subjects. They refused to let members quit the league and forced more cities to join it. The Athenians even used their league's money to pay for buildings in Athens. Without even fighting, the Athenians made the Delian League an Athenian empire. And we kind of talked about that. And so sometimes historians will, when they say the words Athenian empire, they're actually going to be referring to the Delian League. Okay, so that's the same thing. For the sake of our class, we're just going to always say the words Delian League. All right, we're always going to use that. Peloponnesian War. The Delian League was not the only alliance in Greece. After the Persian Wars, many cities in southern Greece, including Sparta, banded together as well. This alliance was called the Peloponnesian League, after the peninsula on which the cities were located. The growth of Athenian power worried many cities in the Peloponnesian League. Finally, to stop Athens' growth, Sparta declared war. So now we have the start of war. The start of war. In 431 BC, the Spartan army marched towards Athens. They surrounded the city and waited for the Athenian army to come out of the city's walls. But the Athenian army stayed inside their walls, hoping Sparta would leave. The Spartans burned the surrounding crops outside of Athens, hoping that it would make the Athenians surrender due to starvation. But the Athenian wall connected Athens to the city-state of Perikles, which was a port city. Thus, Athens had access to supplies from their navy at sea. Okay, what's going on here? A lot of stuff. Basically, what's happening is during that time period, the Delian League, when Athens was getting all of that money from the other city-states, and they were building roads and they were rebuilding their city after it was burned down from the Persians, some of that money went to a wall. Okay? And this is that wall right here. So this way over here, this is Athens. So I'm going to put an A by it. And this is the wall that we're talking about. All right. This is the port city. So I'm going to put a P on top of it. You can see right here we have our sea. So if you were a ship, all right, and I'm going to try and draw a ship as much as possible. So if you were a ship, you would come in here, you would go through a gate. All right, there's a little gate, and you would then be in the center. All right. And I have a bigger, better picture on the next slide. So I'm going to continue that on the next slide. But this is the wall that they're talking about. So Sparta came from the back end, and they came up here hoping that Athens would come out of their wall. But they don't. So they're going to burn all of the crops around the wall. These are flames, all right? They burn, knowing that Athens needed those crops to survive. But they kind of forgot about was this wall access that Athens had to the sea from its wall so that its ships could help them out. All right. So again, this is the wall. This is how this works. All right. If you are a ship, you are coming in from the sea. So here's our ship. All right. He's going to come in through this gate that's going to open. And here, he could dock anywhere he wants. Maybe he docks right there. Okay. And he unloads all of his stuff. He's giving it to people in market. We have our Athenians, merchants, guys, over here. They could travel all the way down this wall, get the stuff that they need, and come back to Athens and sell it without ever having to encounter these Spartans outside the wall. Okay? Sparta, they're just burning up the land. So we have all these fires everywhere, trying to make the Athenians inside the city starve, but it doesn't work because of this wall. So this wall was very important to the city of Athens. All right, I'm going to put an exclamation point because it's very important to them. All right. Let's talk more about this wall and these ships and the sea access point. So, the Athenian Navy attack. The Athenian Navy ships escorted merchant trade ships to Athens. All right. We have our Athenian ships. I'm going to put an A in the ocean. They are taking any trade ships. All right. They're helping these trade ships, and that's what the T is, get to that port access point. All right. They're kind of butting it up and doing it together. These merchant ships, the T ships, they had food and supplies for Athens. The Athenian Navy also attacked the Spartan allies. So maybe we have a city down here. We're going to call it Crete, okay? We have a city down here called Crete. And these Athenian ships, they're also going to attack Crete. So because they're attacking Crete, remember Sparta's up here, okay? Some of Sparta's military has to go protect Crete because Crete and Sparta are friends. So Sparta's military is going to come down to help Crete, okay? So now Sparta's military, half of it is down here, the other half is up here, and Athens has really divided their enemy, which is kind of the goal when going into war. All right. Now, here's an interesting thing about this wall. The only food that's coming into this wall is food that comes from the outside. Okay, so because we have the burning of the crops, so we have burning crops equals food outside. All right. And what do I mean by food outside? Well, this could be like maybe Egypt. Okay. Who knows? Other countries. Okay. Now, what had happened is one of these ships who came from the outside, they were delivering grain. So this guy down here, he has grain. But his grain is it has like a disease, like a sickness. It's kind of poisonous, but it's not good. So we're gonna go grain, not good. All right. So this ship docks in the city. The grain goes to Athens. And what do you think then happens? It's getting made, it's being eaten by the people. It's not good grain. The people are eating this not good grain. What happens? We got a plague. All right? People in Athens get sick. So we have a year, 430 to 429 BC. Okay? Now, the Spartan army, they had left because they're afraid of this plague. They don't want to get sick, so they leave because of the plague. All right? Athens is struck with a plague inside the city walls. So never left the city walls because no one ever left Athens. So like it didn't really spread around Greece, okay? This plague killed thousands of people, including their leader, Pericles. And Pericles is the guy who created the Parthenon, and he created all these wonderful buildings. And so he really rebuilt Athens. He's the guy who rebuilds Athens. And I apologize if my handwriting on here is a little wobbly, so I do apologize. But he's the guy who rebuilt Athens, all right? So we have 10 years. So for 10 years, all right, Athens is recovering from the sickness after that 1 year. Then they go into 10 years of just kind of fighting, okay? Neither Athens or Sparta can get advantage of each other during those 10 years. Eventually, they're going to agree on a truce or peace, all right? You have a peace treaty in 421 BC. Athens keeps the Delian League, all right? Sparta's going to go home. However, this truce only lasts for 6 years, all right? So it's more of like peace question mark because like it didn't happen, all right? This slide here, this slide has some videos for you guys to take a look at and to watch. So this video right here, part 1, this is from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So this is showing you kind of the plague and the leader Pericles and kind of him and his sickness. Part 2 is his death. And I believe I tried my best to exclude any of the fighting or killing that happens during Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So if that was something that you were looking forward to, hopefully it does not show up. If it does show up, I apologize. I try to crop that out. But this video right here goes into detail and reviews basically what we've talked about today. All right, so definitely take a look at this video over here. Your task. On Google Classroom, there is an assignment titled The Plague of Athens. It looks something like this. Excuse me. It looks like this. In the assignment, there is a link that'll take you to an interactive website. Oh my gosh, there's a link in the assignment, all right? You will know you've got the right page when you clicked on, and when you clicked on it, and it opens up to something like this. You may have to download a Flash player, letting you guys know that. Just, it should be okay. You may have to update your Flash, okay? In that website, you're going to identify some of the symptoms of the plague as well as tools used by doctors. So you have those questions right here. Question number 7, all right? That's your big question on your sheet, all right? How did the plague affect Athens' ability to fight the Spartans? All right? So that is your guys' task for today. If you have any questions, email me, join the Zoom live stream, all of that jazz. Have a fabulous day.